Yeah, it's a lot of work, man. When y'all head up to Ohio?
We'll leave early Friday morning. Try to leave about 5. That way we can get there and have the kids be able to rest, get food, and kind of chill.
I got you. Yeah, we head up to Orlando tomorrow at like 11 because we got check in for the NFL thing at 4. And then Friday, you are 9 in the morning, man. We got to play. The kids are like, we got to play at 9 in the morning. Yes, you do.
Yeah, we got work to do.
Yeah, time to go, man. How was your day, boss?
Oh man, I can't complain. Work wasn't too bad. They're keeping me on, so that's good.
There you
Um,
go.
Keep a job, so I'm not gonna complain too much.
Hey, yeah, nah, it's like that down here too, man. Not too much complaining. What's going on, everybody out there? We'll get started in one more minute. Let a couple more people come in. Got some good topics tonight.
Oh yeah, got a lot of good meats this weekend. So a lot of these meats are packed.
Yeah, man, it's starting to crank
A
up.
lot of good meats this weekend.
It's starting to crank up now, man. Showtime now, especially down here. Down here it's still a little cold. Um, he laughing. He like cold, really, man.
Yeah,
I had to put the leather jacket on this morning, man.
it
Huh.
was 57. We was like, ooh, we can get some
You
work
see,
in.
I had to break this out the closet, man. I only put this on about 2 times a year, man. It's 55 degrees this morning, man. He like 55. We put on shorts for 55 and tank tops.
Yeah, yeah. Corey don't put on pants unless it's at least before he'll put on pants, it has to be at least 42, 43 before he'll put pants on. He
Nah, sir.
anything, anything warmer than that, he ain't going. That boy wears
Yeah.
shorts and t-shirts year round.
Nah, man. We definitely anything under 70, 65. We bundled up. Long sleeves, hoodies, pants, man. So we go ahead and get started. So we I put a post out about what maybe a week ago about mental health.
Mhm.
We had a real good live with Coach Cole from True You Mindset Institute. So just want to touch on it, man. What's some things you guys do maybe in the Dunnigan household to handle mental health? Being that your kids are involved in just more than track and field. You guys involved in a lot of different sports. So what's some things that maybe you guys do?
Well, we're very very sensitive to it, and very we really like dive into it because obviously, as you know, Cork, we call it all the D's. He has ODD, DMDD,
Mm-hmm.
ADHD. He's on the
I got you.
spectrum, and so it's always evolving. We always try to make sure that we're always extra supportive, and not just to him but showing him being supportive to other kids as well, because not everybody gets that attention to detail like that, to like making sure everybody's okay. One of the funniest, it's funny now, it wasn't funny at the time when he was, when it was really bad, when we were really dealing with all his disorders, is his first JOs. He takes his spikes off and he literally throws them in the stands, and it
I
was
remember that.
and so it was a good opportunity for, because that was a big thing. Like we talked about that a while back in that other group about
Yeah.
mental health. About then I was like really driving it, and I got to share, about my son and stuff like that, and about, if you're, giving people signals and signs that they can look to when they're dealing with just, I mean, I know we're talking about other mental health, but if you're not in tune to that, you can see those things in other kids, whether they have actual, disabilities or not anyway, because that stuff carries on to any kid. Because
No, I got you.
unless I tell you, typically Corey does a good job of he's gotten better socially. You really don't notice it until if you actually have a conversation with him.
Mm-hmm.
And then, you talk to my daughter, I kind of do it the same way. I was like, okay, I want to make sure that I am providing with good habits for her mentally as well. That's why when you see me coaching at track meets and stuff, I usually have a good smile on my face. I'm usually like, no matter what the kids do, I'm like, hey, great freaking job because
Yeah.
they're giving me max effort. And I think a lot of times coaches miss that. It's like, hey, that no kid goes in wanting to do bad at something. They're trying to
Fact.
get max effort. So you
Fact.
got to be positive and reinforce that, hey, you're doing a great job, kid. And kids, that's how you keep kids coming back and they want to. But when you just own them,
it's gonna be tough, man.
yeah.
And it's another thing, like what you're just saying, you don't want to beat a kid down. Like you say, they might have a bad throw, might have a bad jump. You know what I'm saying? They might have a bad quarterfinal, whatever in a race. They got other stuff coming up. So you beat them down, you jump on them early in the morning. This gonna be a long day. Not all kids respond good mentally to like verbal tongue lashing, you know what I'm saying, and beating on top of them. A lot of these kids put enough pressure on themselves where you really don't have to put no pressure on them at all. Like you got to be there to actually relieve some pressure. Like you said, great job. You know what I'm saying? Don't worry about it. You'll get on the next throw. You'll get on the next jump. Just be there to be that encourager. You know what I'm saying? Like encourage them. These kids are going through a lot of stuff they don't even tell us that they're going through. Yeah. I know with us, we used to be hard on them car ride homes. Like when you didn't get, especially with my son, when he was in baseball, like we train all week, hitting, pitching, boom, boom. And then you get to the game and you just look at 3 pitches across the plate. And it's like, bro, what are you doing? You know what I'm saying? It's like we done put $100 in hitting lesson this week and you ain't even swinging the bat. Like I can see you going down swinging. You just looking at the pitches, man. We used to ream him. And then it got to a point where it was like, maybe you should try some, positive reinforcements on the ride home. You know what I'm saying? Let's encourage them. Let's talk to them and see what's going on. And you'd be amazed of how much better the games became. You know what I'm saying? Because they would be up there, they tight, they tense. Like they don't want to make a mistake because they know if I make a mistake, my parents go get me. You know what I'm saying? Or my coach go get me. So a lot of times your kids can't perform to the way you want them to perform because they're afraid of if I mess up, I'm gonna get screamed at. You get what I'm saying? So they're not able to be free because they're thinking in the back of their mind, don't mess up, don't mess up, don't mess up. And now you go mess up. That's what I tell my kids. Whenever you think you go do something, you go do it. Like they're like, I don't want to scratch. Well, now you're thinking about scratching, you probably go scratch. Right. I don't want to hit the bar. You probably go hit the bar when you on this next jump. You know what I'm saying? So let the kids be free. You train them properly and you prepare them the right way, then they'll do what they need to do when they get to the meet.
I want to, when I saw the topic, it was actually an experience that I saw this weekend. Usually I'll see them and I don't like to try to, I don't like to get into everybody's business, but if I see a kid in distress, I'll try to say something to a parent or a coach like, hey, I'm noticing this, you may want to step in or something. Like this weekend, high jump and pole vault are 2 of the most mentally stressful field events because of the fear involved. I'm not saying all the field events and any event has a lot of stress, but those
I got you. Like
an injury, they're afraid of the bar, especially with the youth. And there was a mom just on this girl so hard. She had done it's a developmental meet, so I try to be encouraging while I'm there. And she ran through I don't know how many times, never made an attempt, but because it was high. It was high. It was the first meet high jumping. And it's like, hey, you gotta get over that bar. You gotta get the bar. I'm like, the girl's literally shaking. And so I went to the official. I was like, hey man, because I don't mind them going through, but just to help him, I was like, you need to step in here and say, hey, she's hit her time limit because this parent or coach is not gonna make this kid sit down until she attempts this bar. Because and what that coach is doing, and I was talking to another coach, we were just kind of whispering because, sometimes it ain't your place, you know what I'm saying? And we were like, I just want to make sure I was on the same page. Like, she is ruining her kid by owning her right there. It's like, you're not helping her. You're installing more fear. Doing more damage. And this is the beginning of the season. I was like, as soon as she cleared her PR or what she did, you should have celebrated her. And then once she was done fear-wise, ease up.
Yeah.
She will get there. What are we in? We're in
January.
We're in January.
Yeah, you still got 6 months.
6 months. What are we doing right now?
And you stressed out in January. But you know what it is too, man? A lot of times I've been around coaching a long time, different sports. People don't prepare their kids the right way during the week. and then you expect magic to happen on Saturday. Magic ain't gonna happen on Saturday if you don't do what you got to do Monday through Friday. Like, I know Savannah go throw, if we get 30, 31 feet in shot put, I'm happy. If she don't hit 36 feet, I'm not finna ream her. She's never thrown 36 feet in her life. Like, she was crying. We had discus at Tia's meet early January. She was crying because she was like, Daddy, I didn't hit 75. I say, Savannah, have you ever thrown 75 in discus? She said no. I say, so what made you expect to throw 35 today? You barely breaking 60. You know what I'm saying? I'm just happy you ain't scratched. You got a good throw in. You know what I'm saying? It's like you say, it's January 6th. We not worried about anything. That we got a lot more time to go. But a lot of people, man, they have unrealistic expectations, and you pass that down on the kid, fussing at the kid, like, bro, the kid ain't did it in practice. What makes you think the kid gonna do that to me? You know what I'm saying? Like, you got to look at the performance list and see what they gonna be facing.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know, man. Parents and coaches, you definitely gotta prepare your kids better mentally during the week so they know what to expect on Saturday. That, I think a lot of times that's a big disconnect that we have.
You know what I do to help them get pumped up? It's a mind game with them, and like what we'll do so they don't get frustrated when they're trying, like, because especially young kids, they want to PR every meet.
Every meet, yep.
Is I go in and I set goals that I know that they're going to hit. I'll be like right now, early.
That's smart. That's smart.
Later in the season, we'll have stretch goals.
I got you.
Like I'll watch their performance during practice. I'm like, okay. Right now, he's throwing 40 in the shot right now. Like semi, consistent. So I go, hey, let's try to go for 38 this one. You hit 38, I got something for you. I got surprises for you on Monday or something. And that way they feel good. Say, hey, if I can get this 38, I'm getting most times, not all the time, but like 70% of the time, they outperform even what they thought they wanted. So if I say 38, he might want to throw a 41 instead.
And when he hear that number, he thinking, ooh, I jumped three feet past that. Let's go. I'm ready to go. Parents, hope y'all listening. That's some good advice. Yeah, you gotta be realistic, man. At the end of the day, you gotta be realistic. They're kids. Like tonight we were playing, like I told you, we do flag football 3 to 5. So we played this team last week and their kids actually were doing pretty good. This week, their kids were a little off. And I was talking with the coach. I was saying, listen, they babies. You don't know what you go get every single day. You know what I'm saying? One day they go be on, one day they off. You just hope they own the day of the, the game or the meet. Sometimes these babies just not gonna be on. I prepare my kids, man, that like your worst that you do should still be good enough to at least get a medal. That way, like we don't do, we don't PR, we don't do our best. You should still be able decent enough to get a medal, but it ain't always gonna happen. But like you said earlier with the girl with pole vault, if they PR, celebrate it. That's a win. A PR is a win at the end of the day. So you gotta, you know what I'm saying? You gotta take it for what it is. But at the end of the day, parents, coaches, be realistic with your athletes and your expectations going into the meet. That's how I look at it. So touching on the next topic, my brother, this was a big one this weekend. And you go to a lot more meets than I do because you guys are up north and you got indoor facilities right closer to you. Meets that are too long.
Closer to me.
Listen, we at the bottom, man. It take me 4 hours to just look at a meet, like before I get anywhere.
Man, long meets are. It's really hard to not have a long meet. It's depending on where you're at, where you're.
I got you.
It's difficult. We don't have that issue here because, like, one, we have to travel so far to get to a meet anyway. So it's not crowded like that. So our meets don't run. Like I saw that performance list down south. I was like, oh Lord. But the thing is like you have to be very organized. If you're gonna have that many kids, you're gonna have to be organized.
Okay, I got you.
Some people do it really well. Like, I don't know. I'm not trying to blow anybody's head up right now, but Lauren Primorano. I can't. I Primorano.
Primorano.
Okay. Primorano. Okay. I correct that name. But she does a lot of big meets. So like their high school meet that they run out there, their youth meets that they're all
The youth meet they just had with like a bunch of kids out there.
and they run it really well, man. They really do. It's one of those things that some of these meet directors that do this thing, they should like get together and maybe someone does a master class like, hey, this is
a conference,
and some of these, and then some of the things these meet directors they'll do is, it's okay to copy someone's style. Like this is about at the end of the day. Like when I go to meets and we hosted our meet, I was stealing stuff from everybody. Okay, this is
what works. Take it.
Fast. Okay, I'm taking this. No, we ain't doing that. That's killing everything. We're not doing it. There's ways that you can do it. But you gotta stick to the schedule. And you gotta say, hey, this is what we're gonna do. And if you ain't ready, when that gun go off, that's just it. Or if you
that's on you. That's on you.
You ain't at your place where you need to be, that's on you. You gotta be strict with the rules if you're gonna hold it that big. If you wanna give some leeway, you gotta limit entries.
I got you.
But
I got you.
I'm definitely but I say all that to say this. I'm not a fan of having 6-year-old kids running at 10 o'clock at night.
Yeah, I think with that meet, they probably should have had the younger kids start early and then work your way up to the older kids. Or maybe even like we always talk about this with JOs, stagger it. Like say, look, boom, you don't have to bring your kids in until this time. That way you're not just sitting around doing absolutely nothing for 4, 5, 6 hours. But also touching on it, like you said, you looked at that performance list, you already know you went for a long day. If you look at a performance list and it say 100 kids entered in an event, you already know what time is about to be. Especially if you run a 200, you already know the 200 at the end of the day anyway. Yep. So pack your lunch. You know what I'm saying? It's gonna be a long day. Now, one thing I do think, I don't know if it's a meet director issue or a venue issue. You got to have better food. Like some places don't allow you to bring no coolers in and stuff like that. Like, you go have people sitting around for, 8, 9, 10 hours. Get them better options than chicken tenders and fries. Because you're not going to be able to perform as an athlete munching on chicken tenders and fries the whole, 9, 10 hours. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, some of them don't even have that. Some of them just be having like nachos and just straight all junk food. So it's not a good situation. And then that's also the thing is, and it's like people like, oh, I'm like meet directors doing this. They're trying to be greedy. I don't think it's about that, because at the end of the day, the thing is what people don't understand is there's a limited amount of opportunities, especially during this time of year, for people to be able to run. And so people who are like kind of like where we're at situated, we don't have a whole lot of opportunity. We make that sacrifice to get out there and like, hey, we know we're going to be at a long situation because we need the work right now. So it's like that's the trade-off as the consumer. I'm like, hey, I know what I'm getting to. You know what? It is what it is. I got to get this work in right now.
Yeah, you getting work and you getting quality, because there was some heavy hitters in the building for that one. And it's not just only the Coach Miami meet, because I knew that was gonna be a big meet. That Bama Showcase is always a big meet. You have some meets that don't have a lot of people and they take all day. Those are the ones where you really had an issue with, and it goes down to, like you said, logistics. It goes down to starting on time. If I say the meet go start at 9 o'clock, we need to be popping that gun off for the 3,000. You get what I'm saying? Like not waiting to 9:30 because there's only 5 kids here. Them kids just missed it. That you gotta put that on mama and daddy. You know what I'm saying? You can't hold up the meet because people aren't there on time. Trust me, you start your meet on time next year, I guarantee they show up. Yep. You've been to an event one time, I guarantee you go show up. When that Speed Capital, they say they starting at 7:30, they starting at 7:30. If there's only one kid on the track for that 3,000, he running by himself.
And I'd have to ask Lauren how they do their twilight meet, but we had a twilight meet here. That's the meet we hosted. We started at 3 o'clock because the kids want to run out under the lights.
Okay.
Like, hey, this is what we're doing. And it was the biggest meet that our region had ever had. It was the biggest meet. We had a ridiculous amount of kids. And we were like, hey, this is where we start. If you're not here, scratch, move on down the road. And it's like
You have to, man. If not, you'll be there all day.
yeah. And so
You
we
have
got
to.
done. We getting done. We had like 1,100 kids, I think it was, and we got done. We started late at 3, and we was done by 11. You know, obviously it's an 8-hour meet.
Yeah.
But, obviously that's late, but that was the intentions of running the lights. You know, had we started,
I got you. I got you.
We done by 3 o'clock.
I got you.
You know, and that was the first time a lot of my my other coaches had ever hosted a meet. But see, I had a lot of experience going out here and seeing what everybody else was doing. I was like, oh, I'm taking these notes. I'm like, here, so.
Listen, it's certain meets gonna be long. You know what I'm saying? The Bama Showcase, that's that last meet before kids, that's running high school that can get another indoor in because outdoor about to start and they can't, once outdoor start, you already know how the schools are because you told me like even your middle school they be tripping, y'all can't do nothing outside. High school ain't letting you do nothing outside. Once high school start, that's it. You locked in. So a lot of people like that, like the Mark Trail meet, they be running late sometimes. Certain meets you just know, you already know what to expect. So when you know what to expect, you sign up for it. I'm gonna say this, don't complain. If you signed up for it and you already know what to expect, you know it's gonna be a long day. Prepare your kids for the long day. Get you some sleeping bags, you know what I'm saying, and just maybe have them stay at the hotel a little bit longer and then drive them over when it's a little bit closer to their time to run. If you got a team, you know what I'm saying, have a team parent designated maybe to run kids back and forth. So that way they're not sitting around. It's just, certain things that you can do, as meet directors, like you said, just try to get your logistics down. If you say it's running at this time, run it at that time. That way people can't be like, well, if you had did this, this wouldn't have happened. If you stick to your schedule and things still don't work out, you know what I'm saying? It's not on you really. And have enough volunteers. That's another thing. Make sure you got enough volunteers.
Yeah, and I would say just kind of close things out is like as a meet director, you want to get feedback and not just. And when you're asking for feedback, I don't want you to just complain to me about what went wrong. I want you to say, okay, what went wrong? How would you fix it?
How would you fix it?
To help.
How would you fix it?
And that's as a consumer, you got to be able to give constructive feedback because, hey, I mean, you ain't putting the meat on. I'm not taking the side of a meat director or anything like that. I'm just being realistic.
But you've been in both shoes. Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
I've been in both sides. I treat that especially, with work too. That's how I treat my business too. I'm like, hey, if you got a better idea how I can do this, let me know.
Let me know.
Input. And then if I can't do that, I'm gonna be honest with you, hey, I'm sorry, that just don't work.
I got you. Yeah, but like you said, have constructive criticism that's just not like nagging. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like when we have issues with Phil, we go tell you what the issue is, you know what I'm saying? But we also go tell you like, okay, this is what you can do to fix it. Like one of my huge pet peeves with Phil is, which I'm pretty sure you probably don't experience this too. You get to the meet and they say, okay, first call, shot put, 7 to 18. First call, discus, 11 to 18. First call, high jump, 9 to 18. And you like, bro, some of these kids do all 3 of these events. How you gonna have them do it all at the same time? So, and the kid in their mind, they hearing this and they thinking, oh my God, I gotta be 3 places at one time. So that's when you as a coach got to tell your kid, hey, relax. I'm gonna check you in to where you need to go. We finna go to this first event, do what you gotta do here, and then we'll go to the rest of them. You know what I'm saying? You gotta be the calming presence because the kid's mind they going crazy. But as a meet director, that shouldn't even happen. You know what I'm saying? Like you gotta switch it up. Start one oldest to youngest. Start one youngest to oldest. But don't start them all at the babies and don't start them all, you know what I'm saying, from oldest to, you know what I'm saying? You got to switch it up.
Yep.
That way you don't have no issues. Chime in, y'all, if y'all got any suggestions, anything that maybe you say that the meet directors can do a little bit differently. At the end of the day, you are the consumer. You are the one putting your money out there. So chime in and it's some meet directors that's tuning in, that's watching. So maybe some of the suggestions you put in will be pretty good for them to put in their meets and to change it. Now here's a big one, man. And you had just put up some shoes. This what made me think about it when you posted those spikes, those Nike spikes, fire. Somebody gave us a brand new pair of Mizuno, so I didn't have to go get the Nike ones. But as soon as she outgrow them, we going to get them Nike ones because they fire. They fire.
I just ordered the new ones, so I got them. I got them sitting there. I got I got 2 pairs of high jump shoes I gotta get rid of because the feet are growing. I'm like,
The feet grow fast, man. And that's what I wanted to touch on, man. The importance of throwing shoes. Somebody else put in the group too, but the importance of throwing shoes and throwing spikes also, and running spikes, jumping spikes, and the importance of having your own implements. Those are key things, because you go to the meet and you see kids throwing. I done seen kids throwing in Crocs. I done seen kids try to throw bare feet, try to throw in socks, Jordan, you name it, they trying to throw in them, and it hinders your progression, because you can't move the way you need to move if you don't have the proper shoes on. You know, and a lot of people don't realize the importance of having those shoes.
Yeah, it's important. I mean, it makes a difference. Like the guy, I can't remember who's posted, but it was a good post about, hey, like it makes all the difference in the world. Moving around in that shot put ring or discus ring, having the proper shoes to do that. I will say, I mean, it's the same thing for jumping too. I think like they make them for a reason, you know, and I can tell you with the high jump and long jump shoes, because you know Corey does a lot of that, it did help a lot with like one, stability with his feet, a lot of force on your feet, and those shoes secure his feet in the shoe better. They have better,
yes, you'll mess up your ankle and stuff.
They have better support for the event. Like a lot of stuff, javelin spikes, I know them things are expensive, but there's more confidence approaching the runway, have their approach to the runway. They're not worried about sliding or slipping past the foul line.
Yep.
So I'm not saying that you have to have them, but if you can't afford them, I promise you they do pay dividends. I don't know what your opinion is on that.
Yeah. No, my opinion is you got to have them. Now, if you ask my kids about me, like with finances and buying stuff, they'll tell you that I am Terry Crews from Everybody Hates Chris. For those of you that have watched that show, that is me. My answer is pretty much always no. I don't want to buy it. We don't need it. We got it at home. That's, you know what I'm saying? That's me. But so for somebody that's frugal like me and you don't like to spend a lot of money, what I did was, because Coach Neff actually gave Vanna some throwing shoes, the Nike Zooms. They were beautiful, green, the lime green ones, and she gave her a pair of Mizuno throwing shoes for javelin. So we went to JO's. She did what she had to do. She looked good in the shoes. Everything worked out. So I'm thinking to myself, perfect. We got a nice pair of shoes for the new year. Well, lo and behold, we get into the new year. Those are 5.5. She wearing a size 7 now. Boom. So I had to get rid of those, and I had to go buy some. And I go on YouTube, eBay or whatever. And the shoes were $80, $90, $100. I'm like, bro, do I really want to spend $100 for throwing shoes? So I went to Poshmark. I don't know if you heard of that. It's like an eBay, but like for used stuff, some new stuff on there too. And then I went to another site called Mercari, and lo and behold, I found a nice pair of throwing shoes, Nikes, for $20.
Oh,
and then I found another even nicer pair that she'll break out later this year when her feet grow, for $40. Brand new Nikes, like fresh, brand new lime green Nikes, $40. So you just got to do your due diligence. It's just like when you go to Ross or the Goodwill or whatever, you got to look through some things, whatever, but you take your time and you look, you'll be able to find you some stuff, you know what I'm saying, that isn't too pricey if you like me and very frugal. If you got it and you want to drop it, you can go ahead, and there's a lot of sites that got some fire shoes.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, the biggest thing, the problem me right now is like, you know, both especially Aubrey, she has giant feet, so I'm hoping that leads to her being tall. I just
that's Savannah too.
Weird. She was talking about her heels, and I'm like, why are your heel hurting? And then going through a short course in his heel, I'm like, what's going on with your heels? I was like, let me see your shoes, like just regular shoes.
Yeah, they don't say nothing.
Don't say nothing. And so I'm like, this is why your heel hurts. You trying to squeeze all that big foot in this little tiny shoe. What are we doing?
They'll say nothing, man. Walking around with
a buku of money.
Toes curled up.
Just on regular shoes. I ain't talking about those. Just regular. We had to have the heart to heart with, and this is for everybody out here.
Yeah.
So if you're an athlete, especially a youth athlete, you got to take care of your feet.
Got to take care of your feet.
Like, you know, y'all trying to be in style and everything, like, nah, that ain't for you. Man, especially for y'all multi-sport athletes, like you ain't got time to be wearing Chuck Taylors. Don't wear them. You killing your don't wear Chuck Taylors. Please don't do that. Like you don't have time.
Them kids don't know what Chuck Taylors are, man.
Huh?
I said them kids don't know what Chuck Taylors are. You say Chuck Taylor, look at you.
Well, I mean, anything with those just flat.
I got you a Converse. The Converse. I got you. The Converse.
You can't do anything with that. And it's like I was like, I want to be fresh and this. I'm like, baby, you play on the playground. Like you ain't to that age yet where you care. Because if you cared, you'd have to switch shoes anytime you got ready to do something. Because
Yeah, you ain't messing up them nice shoes. That's true. That's Sam now. Sam at that age, like he have his Jordans. I'm like, bro, why you putting other shoes in your bag? Oh, these from when I go to PE and we play basketball after school. I said, okay, you know, you know what I'm saying. Not Savannah. Savannah has destroyed every pair of shoes in the closet because she go to PE. Bro, put on a different pair of shoes. You know the day of soccer outside of kickball. I don't care. Brand new shoes. They come back muddied up. It's like, bro.
Yeah. So I told Aubrey because she has a particular brand of shoes, a Nike that she likes to wear. I was like, one, why am I spending money on shoes that she's an athlete? Because look, you know how Aubrey's schedule is. It's from one sport after another. I'm like, and then she's playing and at recess and PE. I'm like, she's not built like that. I was like, these shoes that support her feet. She's putting a lot of pressure on her feet all day long. So you gotta have good shoes.
You know she the recess MVP too. She probably be dunking on kids out there.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. She be bragging like I played basketball with the boys, and that was I crossed them. I was like, get out my face.
So listen, get the shoes, invest in them now. Trust me, they're gonna pay off dividends. And have your kids practice in them also. They don't gotta wear them every single day. Don't get me wrong, but let them practice in them at least a couple times before you get to the meet. So because if not, their feet will hurt in those shoes, especially the throwing shoes. The spinning shoes for shot put and discus, if they don't practice in them a couple times, their feet will hurt because they are not the most comfortable when you first get started with them. Eventually they grow into them and they'll be like a regular pair of shoes when they put them on. Touching on implements, that's a big thing, especially for when you first getting started out. You got to get your own implements, people, because you want your kids to be prepared when they get to the meet. I see kids come to the meet and they've never seen a turbo javelin before. And they're like, oh, what's this? This is the turbo javelin that your coach signed you up to throw.
I seen it happen in javelin too.
Yeah, discus too. They try to throw it like a frisbee. I say, no, baby, what is going on? And again, you go online, you can find this stuff for cheap. You just got to do your research. We had a post in here a couple months ago. I found discus. They were 2 for $30.
Wayne grabbed. I grabbed it immediately.
That's a steal, and they good quality too. They pretty good for $15 for a discus. That you can't beat that, man. You can get shot puts under $20 if you look and find them in the right place. You know what I'm saying? It's stuff out there now. If you want to get the nicer stuff, you know you go have to pay a little bit more for it. Different rim weights. You know what I'm saying? You want a larger shot put, or you want like a soft shell indoor. Like you got to spend a little bit of money for the the more detailed, nicer stuff. But if you want to get some just basic, generic stuff, you can get it for pretty cheap. Well, you don't have to break the bank on it. You know what I'm saying?
And it's like, and it's good for people who are learning. Like you don't have to go out here and get the best. Now, if you shine it and stuff like that, okay, then let's talk about, if whether we're gonna go to a 40-meter or 50-meter jab, like that. Then let's talk about that. But for now, you don't need all that. Like you still learning. Like, don't be so rushed to spend a bunch of money when you're just starting out.
That's like the kids in basketball. First day they come out, they got the brand new Jordans. You know what I'm saying? Like you've seen sleeves. You don't even know how to dribble yet. Like what are we doing? You know what I'm saying? Just go out and get the basic stuff, man. Learn, and then we'll take it from there. I remember when we first started, man. Our first shot put, and we won championships. But it was $13, 6 pound. I saw it on Amazon. It was $12.99 free shipping. I jumped on it. Cast iron. Let's go. You know what I'm saying? The javelin that we don't want broke records with was $30.
Man.
You know what I'm saying? You don't gotta, just teach them how to use it. They'll be all right. that we finna go out. We finna go out and throw these $15 discs in a couple of weeks at Speed Capital.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You gotta be smart. Do your research. You know what I'm saying? And then, like he said, once they become more, or higher than a novice, and they start getting more experience with it, then you can go and get the nice stuff and go out there and really show out. But don't get upset if somebody say you can't use my implement, because they might have dropped some pretty pennies on it and they don't want you to break it, especially a disc. People ain't really sharing them discs.
I am not a fan of sharing discs or javelins. I think that's a terrible idea. I think that's a terrible idea. Shot, I don't really care, because they all, especially at the younger ages and stuff like that, I don't care. It is what it is. The thing, one of the things about USATF, when they have their outdoor nationals and their JOs, except for pole vault, and I think maybe hammer, someone may correct me on that. I don't do hammer, so I can't tell you.
Yeah.
But they provide all implements. And
okay.
So you gotta use the meat implements, and so you going in there anyway. So you using what everybody else is using. So
I got you. Well, it used to be like that before COVID. Like most of the big championships you went to, or the bigger meets, they had the house implement, so everybody was pretty much like, fair game. Everybody using the same thing, so you can't say somebody got an advantage because they're using something different. But after COVID, it was, they don't want people touching things. Everybody bring your own implement, stuff like that. I know once you get to high school, though, that rim weight with the discus changes, and some kids, they like to use a higher rim weight. Some kids can handle it, some kids can't. So they're very particular about their disc. Some kids, they travel with that disc in the carry-on. That disc ain't going nowhere. Yeah, I see somebody they said sometimes they make you share at the meets. They do. But sometimes you can tell them, say, unfortunately, I don't want my kid to share, because I know me with our javelin. Like, I'm like, Ricky, I don't like to share the javelin because people will mess up your tip, and those tips are not easy to come by. They'll be pushing down on it, they slamming it. You know what I'm saying? No, just bring your own. I sometimes I bring an extra one, that I don't mind people using, but the one that we use, I don't let nobody else use it.
Nope. I'd be like, yo, and like you can, I mean, if the official is like doing what they're supposed to do, you can be like, hey, they can't be using my thing, and they'll understand, because I know we did it in the big jab, when we had the big jabs out, when we were doing the actual real jabs. We were like, no, you can't use that. You gotta use one of the house ones. Or we did the same thing with the turbo jabs. Like, no, you can't use that. It just depends on what official. If you get one of them good officials, they don't believe in sharing those type of implements either, because they know that stuff's expensive. You get you an actual one who's been around and done jab or done disc.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, hey, these are expensive. You can't come out here breaking this, because like that's, look, jabs get real. People don't understand, jabs get really expensive. You
Really
get
expensive.
between $500 and $1,500 on a jab.
Yeah, easily. Especially when you get to that, that 600, like you said, the different lengths of it. It gets very expensive, man. And people will walk off with your stuff too. You got to be careful, man. You know what I'm saying? So, just get your own stuff, people. If you were the club and you paying into your club, ask them, hey, I'm paying my registration. You know what I'm saying? We paying these fees. Do they include implements? You know what I'm saying? Things of that nature. If not, maybe you can do a fundraiser. Like us, we've probably sold over 2,000 Krispy Kreme boxes of donuts. We are the Krispy Kreme. You know what I'm saying? We sell donuts like crazy, and you'd be amazed at how much money you can make selling donuts. People like donuts. Or you can do the double good, the popcorn. You know what I'm saying? There's ways out there where you can do it, or you can even go to the high school sometime. Maybe the high school might have old implements that they got new ones, and they got some they want to get rid of, and they'll give you some implements. You'll be amazed.
Because some of they got a budget. If they don't use their budgets get reduced the following year.
Mm-hmm.
They'll be like, hey, we got to spend this money anyway, and this is kind of tore up. One of the guys in our group, he got a whole high jump set up for $50. Like,
wow.
Standards, bar, everything for $50.
Wow. Yeah, Jamie, I see you, Jamie. That's crazy. But see, in a situation like that, the type of person I am, I wouldn't let them use my shot put. just not to punish the girls, but to make their team go out and actually get those kids an implement. Because just like Tia just said, if you don't have an implement at the meet, how are you practicing during the week? Like, what benefit? You can't practice if you don't have an implement. You know what I'm saying? Like, you doing the kids a huge injustice. And as a parent, if you at a club like that, like, you need to say something to put your foot down. You know what I'm saying? I'm not telling y'all to start a mutiny in your club, but if you if you in a club and you don't have no implements at practice, that's a problem. Unless you at a free club and ain't nobody paying for nothing and y'all just out there, kumbaya. But if you paying, $200, $300, $400, you should have something to practice with.
Man, I'm telling you, dude, they don't. It's bad. It's like when at our regionals, there was girls I know for a fact they never threw a javelin before. They ain't had one to check in. They just out there. Coach was like, "Hey, we can get you JOs. You jump."
Yeah, they just trying to get the JOs. Yeah,
and it was like they were throwing out that jab, and it was hitting the wrong end. Because just throwing it straight up in the air, and it was coming out.
Yeah, just coming down.
I was like, that is gonna snap, and someone's gonna freak out. They break their jab out here. I was like, that's a no for me.
Yeah, and that's another thing too, man. That wasn't even a topic, but that's something too, man. People just throw kids in the event trying to get them to JOs, and then you get a kid go to JOs like that and get their spirit crushed.
Mm-hmm.
Because you go out there and you see a kid really throwing that implement, and you all the way at the bottom, that crushes a kid's spirit, man. Don't do that to these kids. These kids deserve better. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you don't know what you're doing, hire somebody to come in and help, or get on YouTube and study. You can learn how to become a throwing coach. I'm not gonna say you're gonna become an amazing throwing coach like a Kovac or somebody like that, but you can do good enough to get these kids where they can at a level where they can really compete if you truly care about the kid.
Yep.
Like, somebody said we only have throwing coaches in the summer, and those coaches have all the implements. We'll see if y'all can borrow them. See if you can maybe borrow them, or like I said, get a fundraiser. See how many parents you have that are actually throwing parents, and maybe you guys can do a fundraiser and just get those like house implements for your team.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? If you can only afford one shot put for per age group, then y'all just gotta, you know what I'm saying? Boom. 1 6-pound, 1 4-pound, and 1 4K. You know what I'm saying? And if you got some high school boys, they get to 12. You just get you one discus, 1K. You know what I'm saying? They do 1K from 11 to 14. So you know what I'm saying? Get you 1 300, 1 400. You raise $200, you can get pretty much everything you need.
Yeah.
To at least to get you started. And then you take it from there. You know what I'm saying? If you want to get your kids their own stuff on the side, that's fine. But as a team, I think you can do it. You just gotta be vocal. You gotta be vocal, because listen, some coaches ain't gonna do it, because a lot of coaches. That's why we made this group. Field Events Matter. Some track coaches don't care about what y'all doing out there in the field. Nope. They can care less. Their mind is on that track, on the hurdles, and maybe on the long jump. But they don't even really care about triple jump, because that's a whole nother beast. You know what I'm saying? So you said invest. Yeah, that's what we did. You know what I'm saying? With my club, like I bought my daughter has her own stuff. We have some other kids on our team where they have their own stuff, but we also have house implements, for the team, for maybe the kids' parents who are new to it and they don't know if they want to make that investment yet. It's their kid first year. So we have that for them so they can try it out and see if it's something that they want to do for the future. And then, we make recommendations on what to get them if they do want to get their own stuff. So touching on the last topic for the night, my brother. This is one that's big for me, because I know a lot of people, some people do it, but a lot of people don't really do it. Film study. I know you guys do it. Because we watch the high jump videos at your kids. I told you, every time your son high jump, it look like the aliens picking him up from the earth, dog, but film study. How many of you are out there actually doing film study with your athletes? Go ahead, you can take it.
I think it's very important for kids to be able to see themselves. So because and then you can ask them questions. Hey, what did you do right here?
Mm-hmm.
What do you think you can work on? I don't ever want to say, what do you do wrong? What did you do wrong? Hey, what do you think you can work on? Or I say, what did you do? I like to emphasize, what did you do right? What have we been working on this week, you know, and then they look back at it like, hey, look, I actually got my head down that time, or hey,
Yep.
I actually took the step in the right direction. Like my feet were, I had the spacing right on my hips, you know, that, you talk about those terms in practice. And then when you see it at the meet, you film it and you go back to practice on Monday or whatever and be like, hey, what do you see here? Or Sunday, whenever you guys meet up.
No, I got you.
What'd you see here? What did you like? What did you not like? What do you think we need to work on?
Yeah.
What do you need help with?
It's important, man. Like if you even watch the professionals, or you watch college coaches or college meets, the meets where you can kind of get closer to your athlete. But even the professionals, go and watch the Olympics or the World Championships. After every throw, what do most of them do? They run over, cross the track till they coach in the stands. And he's looking at it and they showing them, okay, boom, you can do this better, like you said, or what did you do right? Okay, you did that. Let's try to do it a little bit better and get the result that we're looking to get. But practice, you should videotape your kids in practice. And then you can sit back, because you can't, when you just watching a throw, it's one thing to watch it and tell a kid, okay, or a jump, you did this wrong. Most kids are gonna look at you like, okay, you know. But if you can slow it down and show them, look, you did this. Okay, this was good. We could have did this better. Get your head up here. You know what I'm saying? Extend a little bit more there. It's going to be game changer. And then they get your kids to the point too, they can diagnose their own mistakes. And that's when you really, you know what I'm saying? That's when the wheels really start turning and you really start seeing improvement with your kids. When your kids can do something and say, okay, yeah, I did this. I need to do this instead. Boom, we good to go then. That's when I pull out my chair and just sit back at the meet and get my popcorn ready, because I know it's about to be a show. You know what I'm saying? I don't even got to coach at. We don't got even got to coach at the meet no more, because they coach themselves. But you got to do film study. So if you are doing it, great. Just keep doing it. And if you aren't doing it, you know, get it. Invest in you a tripod. You know what I'm saying? If you're only coached by yourself, you can get you a little tripod. They're $5-10 on Amazon. Set it up, put it in the corner, just let the tape roll, boom, boom, and you can just go through your practice and then go back when you're at work the next day. I sit at work all the time looking through videos. Yeah. Okay, she didn't get her foot down here. He didn't get his foot down too early. Okay, oh, this is what we need to, you know, so today in practice, we got to work on this. Boom, 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 boom. You'd be amazed at what you can accomplish. You know what I'm saying? So film study. Do you have any apps that you use, or you just record on the phone? I know you're the tech guru.
I do. I mostly I do in practice. It's just with the phone. I just record. Okay. At meets, I have a Mevo that I have set up, and I have a game changer set up for our team too. And I'll tell parents when they're sitting around, hey, this is actually streaming live. So if my kids, like, this is live, you can go and watch the video. You can have your family come watch the video. So when we're doing like long jump or high jump or any field events, typically we have it streaming for everybody to be able to see it. But I also keep all that stuff archived, because I have a YouTube account where everything's archived, and the kids like to see the progression. They like to go back and like, hey, how did I do? They like to see when I first started. Like the jab thing is always playing, and like the kids will thought, I was so bad.
Bad. Yep.
Yeah. And listen, they're excited to see their growth.
Mm-hmm. Listen, I'm telling you, man, what Coach Tia said, I'll be too hyped to film. Man, hey, that's how you get your views up online, man. That's how we get to go get this NIL money. You got to put them highlight packages together, baby. Listen, we got a video on YouTube, like talking what you just said. When Savannah was 5, her first throw, and we just went through all the progressions. Boom, boom, and we put that together. That video hit 1 million views on YouTube. You know what I'm saying? You gotta come on. You gotta record this stuff, baby. It's a journey. It's a journey. Like you said, them first meets wasn't funny.
No, and that's funny that you say that, like stringing that stuff together. I need to make another one kind of like that for track. Because we did one like that for Aubrey's softball, where she was swinging and she couldn't hit off a tee. Together with like her hitting like 5 home runs out the park. I was like, this is where we started. Yeah. This is where we at now. So
I still remember that video, man. I say, Ricky got good insurance. You had her hitting in the street over the house. I say, bro, you got a lot. That's like, I don't know if you've seen the video of the coach. He's literally standing right here pitching to his player, and the guy's hitting it right off the wall. I said, well, you got some real trust, man, because all it takes is one miss, boom, you gone. So this man playing home run derby in front of his house.
I didn't know what she was gonna do. I was like, we got big
He
enough.
hit it to the next street. That's what she did.
I didn't know she was at that point. I was like, oh, that's going over that house. Oh, I didn't know we was doing that. So
yeah, we got to go to the park now. Let's go. No more.
We don't do that anymore. Like that was the first time in last time. Yeah.
Oh man, that's funny. But yeah, record, parents, record. Record so you can go back over and analyze, and record so you can have those memories, you know what I'm saying, for your kids of where they started and then where they going when they get to high school, then when they get to their college recruitment, you know what I'm saying, and the ceremony where they doing their acceptance and signing their NIL, NLI, you know, the letters of intent. You can play that video, let everybody see where they started. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Because we all listen, everybody got to start somewhere. Everybody got to start somewhere. Nobody starts out a national champion day one. You got to work to that point.
Oh,
you know what I'm saying? You got to work to it. But yeah, that's pretty much everything we got for tonight, man. I know we had a couple kids that did some amazing things this weekend. Lyric Stevenson had a big shot put throw at the Bama Showcase. She broke the record. Congratulations to her. Janiyah Simpson, she won. She didn't PR, but I know she won a big high school meet indoor down here. In Florida. Coach O has his meet coming up, and you guys going to Speed Capital. That's gonna be dope. I'm still mad I can't go, man.
Oh, there's two girls this weekend, in the 11-year-old girls who jumped against each other this past weekend. Fantastic. One national champ last year. They both jumped 4.3 this weekend. And it's so funny because that's what we're talking about. Like, don't get so caught up on where kids are now because they're going to get better the more they work at it. This girl literally finished like 20th in high jump just this past summer at JO's. This weekend, she beat the national champ this weekend.
Wow.
That happens. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just patience and time. You got to let kids get a chance to develop. Like, and I'm so happy for that kid that they didn't give up. And they kept working. Now you go from jumping 3.5 is what she jumped at JO's to jumping 4.3, like what was that, like 6 months later?
She working. But you know, that's kudos. That's kudos to her because she put in the work. But it's kudos to her parents and her coaches that they didn't beat her down. You only did 3, you know what I'm saying? Like, encourage the baby, you know what I'm saying? Lift them up because you never know what's inside of a kid. But yeah. So safe travels, my brother. Safe travels to everybody that's gonna be on the road this weekend. Hopefully y'all don't get no snow or nothing like that. We going up to Orlando. Maybe I can find a track meet on Saturday. I know we're gonna be up there for flag football. Maybe see Savannah be like, no, daddy, I'm trying to go to the Pro Bowl. No track this weekend. I thought I was gonna see Mahomes at the Pro Bowl, man.
Nah, we're too busy to make the Super Bowl, man. We can't.
I see. Well, I'm rooting for y'all, man, because I'm a Cowboy at heart, so I can't root for the 49ers. So I'm hoping y'all pull it out. We're
gonna put a hurting on them.
Ernest, you heard that, Ernest? Ernest is over there, boy. Ernest was out. He was praying hard at halftime. He had no Facebook post.
His prayer line is over. Like, you use up all your prayer requests, my man. Like, you ain't getting more. It's over.
Oh man. Oh, that the TFC US meet, that was dope. We did that one year. That was actually Savannah's first national championship. That was cool. That's a long drive for us though. That's 14 hours to get to Birmingham. But they do have Guthrie's. So anybody like chicken fingers in here? This is the last thing I'm gonna say. I know we got to get off. Anybody like chicken fingers in here? When you in Birmingham, Guthrie's, best chicken fingers in America. Better than Raising Cane's. So when next time y'all go to Birmingham, go to Guthrie's.
Right.
Get you a gut box and some gut sauce. Tell them David sent you. Coach Dopes. All right, my brother. Y'all be good, man. Signing off, everybody. We'll see y'all next Wednesday. Stay blessed.
Hey, good luck, everybody.